From the moment you entered this world, the forces of darkness recognized your light. They saw the divine signature on your soul before you did. They knew you were sent as a disruptor, a breaker of chains, a living reminder of Allah's power. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to threaten everything false. That's why you've been misunderstood, isolated, and attacked. Not because you're weak, but because you are dangerous to everything built on lies. The truth is, chosen ones don't seek war. Their existence exposes it, and that's why they've been after you since birth. So listen carefully, because in these 7 powerful lessons, you'll finally understand who you are, why the world fears your awakening, and how Allah has been shaping you into the most dangerous existence against darkness. A walking proof that light cannot be defeated. Chosen one. Before you even knew your own name, the unseen world already knew your purpose. The moment you entered this life, your soul emitted a light that pierced through realms. A light that made the devils tremble and the angels rejoice. You were not just another birth. You were a declaration of divine intent. That's why you felt attacked since the beginning. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the enemy saw what you carried. Just like Pharaoh feared the prophecy of a child who would end his tyranny and ordered the slaughter of infants before Moses, peace be upon him, was even born, your existence too triggered fear in those who serve falsehood. From your earliest days, darkness recognized you as a threat. It tried to distort your identity, to confuse you, to make you believe you were unworthy or cursed. Because if you ever discovered who you truly are, its empire of deception would crumble. You must understand, spiritual warfare begins long before physical awareness. The attacks on your mind, your peace, and your path were never random. They were strategic. The Shayatin saw your destiny, so they targeted your confidence. They saw your light, so they tried to dim it through pain, doubt, and betrayal. But what they didn't realize is that every attack only made you stronger, every wound only deepened your wisdom, and every fall only proved your resilience. Remember this, chosen one, your struggle is proof of your spiritual significance. The enemy does not waste its time on the ordinary. It only wages war on those carrying divine light. So if you've been under attack since birth, it's because even the darkness knows your potential. You are the reminder it fears most, that no matter how deep the night becomes, the dawn that Allah decrees always rises. Chosen one, there are seasons in your life that you thought were punishment, the years of loneliness, rejection, and silence. The moments when you cried to Allah asking, "Why me?" Every disappointment, every door that slammed in your face, every person who abandoned you. It wasn't the end of your story. It was Allah hiding you while He wrote a new chapter. You see, before Allah reveals a chosen one, He must first conceal them. He wraps them in struggle so tightly that the world mistakes their pain for failure. But in reality, hardship becomes the veil that shields divine potential from premature exposure. Just like Prophet Joseph, peace be upon him, was thrown into a well and forgotten by those who once loved him, you too were placed in emotional darkness, not to die there, but to be prepared there. Allah knew if He revealed you too soon, the world would try to corrupt you before you were ready. So He let you be buried, misunderstood, overlooked, because He was growing something sacred within you that could not survive in shallow soil. You see, when Allah chooses someone for a higher mission, He doesn't hand them the crown immediately. He sends storms, heartbreaks, delays, all to strengthen their soul and purify their heart. Think of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. Before he faced Pharaoh, he faced exile. Before he became the liberator, he was a fugitive. Before he split the sea, he wandered the desert. The chosen ones are always hidden before they are revealed. Allah allows them to taste pain so they learn compassion, to experience betrayal so they recognize sincerity, and to walk through fire so they emerge untouchable. Your isolation was divine training ground. The very people who rejected you were part of Allah's plan to detach you from dependency on creation. Because as long as you needed validation, you couldn't carry revelation. He stripped you of everything so that when He finally raises you, no one else can claim credit for your rise. Every silent night you spent crying to Him was not ignored. It was recorded. Every prayer that felt unanswered was actually being stored for a day when your elevation would require the fuel of your past pain. Allah was preparing your soul for visibility, your patience for responsibility, your wounds for wisdom. So stop cursing the seasons that broke you. They were the very hands of Allah shaping you. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received revelation, he didn't start with armies or wealth. He started in a cave, hidden, alone, face to face with truth. That's what hardship does. It isolates you from noise until you can finally hear the voice of purpose. Allah hides His chosen under trials so that when they are unveiled, their strength doesn't come from ego, it comes from endurance. So look back now and see it clearly. Every rejection was redirection, every loss was protection, every delay was mercy. You were hidden not because you were forgotten, but because you were precious. Diamonds are formed in darkness, prophets are raised in exile, and chosen ones are perfected in pain. The world may not have seen you yet, but Allah did. And when He decides to reveal what He has been preparing, no force in the heavens or the earth can stop it. Because when Allah hides someone, it's not to erase them. It's to preserve them for a moment of divine unveiling that will silence every doubt and prove that hardship was never your enemy. It was your shield. Chosen one. You've often wondered why you feel everything so deeply, why people's words cut you harder than they should, why environments drain or uplift you instantly, and why your heart breaks for things others walk past without a second glance. You've been called too emotional, too intense, or too soft your entire life, and perhaps you even began to believe them. But what if I told you that your sensitivity, that very thing you've been shamed for, is not your weakness, it's your divine weapon? Allah, in His infinite wisdom, designed the chosen ones with a heightened spiritual frequency. You are not like others because your mission is not like others. You were sent to sense, to discern, to feel what most cannot. Because to carry Allah's light into a dark world, your heart must be able to detect darkness when it hides in plain sight. Sensitivity, when purified through faith, becomes discernment, a spiritual radar that can separate truth from illusion. You walk into a room and instantly know something is off, even if no one says a word. You can feel deceit hiding behind a smile or sincerity glowing from someone's silence. That's not overthinking, that's divine calibration. Allah gave you this ability because your assignment requires awareness. You are meant to see beyond the surface, just as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was Al-Amin, the trustworthy, the one who could perceive truth at its essence. Your heart too was tuned to feel the reality behind appearances. You are sensitive not because you are fragile, but because your soul was built to read the unseen language of energy, emotion, and intention. But the enemy knows this. That's why he has spent years trying to make you despise your own heart. He used people to mock you, to gaslight you, to call you dramatic, so you'd suppress the very gift Allah gave you. He tried to convince you that being numb was safer than being spiritual. Because once you stop feeling, you stop seeing. He fears your sensitivity because he knows it exposes him. When your heart is alive, lies cannot hide near you. Your very presence begins to shake the falsehood in others. That's why emotional attacks have been constant in your life. Heartbreak, betrayal, loss. They weren't random events. They were strategic attempts to harden your heart. The devil's goal was to desensitize you so that your spiritual weapon, your sensitivity, would dull. But every time you fell to your knees and cried out to Allah instead of shutting down, your heart sharpened again. Each tear you shed was polishing your weapon, not weakening it. Look at the prophets. Prophet Joseph, peace be upon him, felt betrayal from his own brothers. Prophet Job, peace be upon him, felt pain in every inch of his body. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wept for his people when they mocked him. Their sensitivity did not make them weak. It made them reflectors of divine mercy. They could not have led nations if they did not first feel their people's suffering. The chosen ones inherit that same softness, not to be crushed by the world, but to heal it. Your empathy allows you to see the pain behind anger, the wounds behind arrogance, and the fear behind cruelty. That is a power greater than any weapon of the enemy. Because love and compassion, when guided by truth, dismantle evil more effectively than hate ever could. But remember, chosen one, your sensitivity must be anchored in Allah, or it will drown you. Feel deeply, but don't carry what's not yours. You were not created to absorb everyone's pain, but to understand it, transmute it through prayer, and return it as wisdom. Protect your energy with boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your heart's frequency. The prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The heart of a believer is between two fingers of the most merciful." That means your sensitivity belongs to Allah. Let him guide what you feel and when. So the next time someone says, "You're too sensitive," smile. Because what they really mean is, you can see what I can't. You feel storms before they arrive, you sense betrayal before it happens, and you perceive Allah's guidance in signs others dismiss as coincidence. That is not weakness. That is awareness born from spiritual refinement. The same way a surgeon's hands must be delicate to heal without harming, your heart must remain tender to restore without judging. Chosen one, do not numb your light to make the blind comfortable. Your heart was made to detect what is invisible: injustice, deceit, danger, beauty, sincerity, and divine presence. Use it as your compass. When it feels uneasy, listen. When it feels peace, follow. That is Allah speaking to you through the sensitivity He handcrafted into your being. This world may call it a curse, but heaven calls it a trust. Your sensitivity is the mark of your divine assignment, the evidence that your heart is still alive in a world that has gone numb.